Technical Writing for Inspectors, Module 18, Graphs, Charts, Figures, and Diagrams. Instructor, Gary A. Pace, PE, CWI, Katy, Texas, TexasWeldingEngineering.com. So learning objectives. We're going to talk about some graphics here. Graphs, charts, figures, diagrams, and then we're going to just touch base on the snipping tool. Okay, with graphics, well, they help the writer present technical information a lot clearer than we could accomplish with just words alone. That old saying where a picture is worth 1,000 words kind of helps us. Graphics are going to help us, give the reader a deeper understanding of the technical information we're trying to convey to them. So, graphics for a technical document need to be designed, edited, and prepared with precision to avoid weakness. Graphics often enhance a document's readability, clarity, and effectiveness. We could write something out, but if you add some pictures and some graphics and some charts, a lot of times it helps make the document a lot more effective. So when we're talking about graphics, we're talking about graphs, charts, figures, tables, diagrams, and just generally any other graphic that's not a word, a text. It's not the written word. So pictures, pictograms, whatever, those are graphics, and we're going to talk about them and how they can enhance your end product when you're doing a written technical document. So a graph. Okay, so a lot of times numbers people like engineers or accountants or whoever want to throw a graph in there because it's easier to see patterns and trends if it's graphic as opposed to numerical, just a table of numbers. So, but if they put it in a pictorial form, a person can say, oh yeah, now I see what you're talking about. I can see the pattern forming. It's on this date it was this, on this date it was this. So that's what we're talking about when we're talking about a graph. So a lot of times you need to include numerical data in a report, but sometimes people don't want to look at numerical just data, just lines of numbers. So it's better to put it into a graphical or tabular form, which is a graph. And when we do a table or a graph in technical writing, sometimes it's going to make complex numerical information way easier for our reader to digest. It's going to help them look at that, and then if they want to go dig through the numerical data, the data tables, they can go dive into that on their own and go back and double check it. But this gives them a general idea of what's going on with the numbers in that report that you're reporting on. So a chart is a graphical representation of data visualization where the data is represented by symbols such as bars in a bar chart, lines in a line chart, or slices in a pie chart. So, there's different ways that we can express this information. And I know a lot of this is rudimentary, but sometimes you're going to you might need to put this into a report. I've done this with, weld defect reports where I've put in, this of the weld defects that we had on this project, there were this much porosity, this much slag inclusions, this much of all our total whatever. So a lot of times it's easier for people to digest like this. But so figures are defined as any visual element that is not a table. As long as it's not a numerical table, it can be a figure. Line graphs, pie charts, photographs, sketches, schematics, these are all considered figures and are all useful in explaining something. So when we talk about a table, in technical documents, a table or a figure, not both, are used to present data. So if we're going to put in a table, we don't put in a figure. Or if we put in a figure, we don't put in a table. The table we might attach as another form of data in the appendix. So when we're talking about diagrams, we're talking about it's a drawing, image, or sketch that helps the reader to figure out and visualize what the author is telling us about in the sketch or in the text. So that's what a diagram is. It can be a drawing, an image, a sketch, a pictogram, but we've got diagrams. And, um, a diagram, sometimes it's got a caption, and it's a short phrase or a sentence underneath the picture that, provides additional information about what you're seeing. It could include information about, dates, locations, important names, like this one. We don't have the caption underneath, but we've got, how we slice up a cow to grill it. Uh, you know, some other information that sometimes is, additional facts about the topic of the diagram. So if you're going to put a diagram into your report, you are allowed to add extra information, and it doesn't hurt to have that extra information in the picture. Okay, so this is kind of neither here nor there, but this is a tool that I use sometimes to add information into a uh, report. I use what's called the snipping tool. So if you got a mouse and a keyboard, this is a very useful tool. So you can either go to the lower left-hand corner and type in snipping tool, or if you hit the Windows logo key, Shift and S, uh, you can it'll select an area for your screenshot. But if it's in the rectangular mode, it's usually there by default. It'll just take a rectangular picture or whatever size you kind of drag and drop and use. And then you can cut it into a Word document or save it to a directory for later use. But I use this all the time when I'm building reports or when I'm building these classes that I put online. Snipping tool, absolutely great tool that, if you're going to be doing graphics or stuff like that, you might want to learn how to use the snipping tool. And the screenshots, if you take a screenshot, it's automatically saved to your clipboard, and then you can copy and paste it into another document or into a Word document or an Excel spreadsheet or whatever program you're working in. So we covered graphs, charts, figures, diagrams, and the snipping tool. Questions? Gary A. Pace, PE, CWI, Katy, Texas, TexasWeldingEngineering.com. Got any questions or comments? Contact me and I'll try and see what I can do to help you.